Yu-Gi-Oh cards are generally known for being a little verbose. Cards like Nirvana High Paladin and Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic, have cemented themselves as folklore, shared around anytime the mention of Yu-Gi-Oh! And its text box power creep escapes the walls of our quiet little community. But what about the shortest cards? What about the cards who, despite having a few words to say, put all the right words into the right places? Today we'll be investigating the old card catalog to find out, what are the shortest Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Any search for the shortest Yu-Gi-Oh cards has to start from the beginning of it all. After all, we have the data showing that cards have only gotten longer and longer since year 1, and a quick look at one of the most recent sets, Phantom Nightmare, shows that the shortest card effect, Emergency Apport, still manages a cool 20 words, or 101 characters. If we jump one decade back, we can find that Secrets of Eternity was released in January 2015. This set introduced only a single card that cracked one line of text, with Lightning Rod Lord, who has the effect, neither player can activate spell cards during main phase 1. So then, we have to jump even further back, all the way back to the oldest of sets. And then, we can start generating our short list. We'll start with trap cards because many of you, after reading the episode pitch, likely thought about the magic card, Pot of Greed, who lets you draw 2 cards. Well, let me introduce you to Pot of Greed's magenta-bordered cousin, Jar of Greed, which has the underwhelming effect to draw 1 card, expertly cutting off the plural S to become the shortest trap card in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, with 3 words and 11 characters. And yes, spaces do count as a character, okay? On the side of spell cards, many popular staples crack the 1-line barrier. For example, Darkhole, which simply reads, destroy all monsters on the field. It's an impressively short effect for a card that still sees play in the modern era today. Disregarding meta viability, the card Blue Medicine takes the lead, which has the effect gain 400 LP, perfectly mirroring Jar of Greed with its 3 words and 11 characters. But it's time to introduce a little wrinkle in the rules. See, due to the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh cards are indeed physical, bendable, paper cards, different prints over different times have different texts. In fact, the only physical prints of Blue Medicine from the 2002 tournament pack has the somewhat convoluted and completely wrong text, increase both you and your opponent's life points by 400 points. The shortest version, then, is the one available in digital simulators like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. But since this is an exercise in racing to the bottom, I don't have any issues with this caveat. The shortest monster effect in Yu-Gi-Oh! Once again follows in Jar of Greed's footsteps, this time by plagiarizing its effect. The card Skull Angel has the effect flip, draw 1 card, coming in at a total of 4 words and 17 characters. Now for you, well, actually, nerds out there, monsters have a class of cards called non-effect monsters, which, as the name suggests, have no effect. That said, these type of monsters still have text in their text boxes, whether flavor text for normal monsters, or their specific summoning materials for extra deck monsters. Regardless, you'd be hard-pressed to find a monster with less text in its text box than Lan Farincus, with a text box that simply reads 2 monsters, 2 words with a record-setting 10 characters. Indeed, Lan Farincus, as well as Traffic Ghost's similar 3 monsters, take the cake as the Yu-Gi-Oh card with the least text. Of course, with over 11,000 individual cards, it's possible that I may have missed something, and I'd love for anyone to prove me wrong over at my Twitter at KeyYuGiOh. But I do know, with the ever-advancing state of power creep, these cards will likely go down as the shortest cards in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!